Reigns sends him right back into the corner.
But I'm not sure a hothead like Roman Reigns has anything.
In a moment that sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, Roman Reigns made his long-awaited return to Friday Night SmackDown, but not as the dominant Tribal Chief fans have grown used to seeing. Instead, Reigns emerged limping, his right knee heavily braced, supported by a single crutch and a wave of stunned silence from the crowd. Gone were the days of striding confidently with the undisputed WWE Universal Championship slung over his shoulder. Gone was the intimidating aura that had once defined the head of the table. In its place stood a battered, betrayed, and visibly weakened Reigns. But despite the physical vulnerability, his eyes still burned with fury. Fury directed not at an opponent in the ring, but at a familiar face behind the scenes. Paul Heyman. What happened backstage after Reigns' surprise appearance has ignited rumors, stirred speculation, and completely turned WWE's current power structure upside down. Because waiting for Reigns in the shadows of the arena was a man no one expected him to speak to again, let alone possibly align with: Brock Lesnar. The fall of the Tribal Empire. To understand the significance of this moment, we need to rewind to SummerSlam 2025, where Reigns' record-breaking championship reign, over 1,300 days, came to a sudden and brutal end. That night, betrayal was the name of the game. Solo Sikoa, Reigns' enforcer and cousin, turned on the Tribal Chief, delivering a devastating Samoan spike that led directly to his defeat. Standing beside Solo was none other than Paul Heyman, Reigns' longtime wise man who had orchestrated the betrayal from the shadows. The very man who once swore loyalty to Reigns, after betraying Brock Lesnar years earlier, had now stabbed another in the back. The implosion of the Bloodline wasn't just physical, it was personal. Reigns disappeared from WWE programming immediately after the loss, fueling speculation about real injuries sustained during the match, including a torn MCL and a possible rib fracture. While the extent of his injuries was kept quiet, images of Reigns being helped out of the arena with a leg brace circulated online, adding fuel to the fire. Many assumed we wouldn't see Roman again for months, but WWE, always full of surprises, flipped the script this week. A silent statement in the ring. This past Friday on SmackDown, the lights dimmed and Reigns' iconic theme music hit, triggering an eruption from the live crowd in Charlotte, North Carolina. But as the figure emerged through the smoke, fans quickly realized this wasn't the same man they last saw ruling over WWE. Roman Reigns, wearing a sleeveless hoodie and track pants, limped slowly down the ramp with the help of a crutch. No pyro. No championship gold, just the cold silence of a man who had been betrayed, humiliated, and left behind. Once in the ring, Reigns said nothing. He simply stood in the center, looked up at the WrestleMania 41 banner, and raised one finger, acknowledging himself perhaps for the last time. The arena, unsure how to respond, offered a mix of cheers and respectful silence. Reigns then exited the ring as quietly as he arrived. It felt more like a funeral procession than a comeback. But the true drama hadn't even begun yet. Backstage, a beast waits in the shadows. Later in the broadcast, WWE aired a backstage segment filmed just moments after Reigns exited the arena floor. The camera followed him hobbling down a dimly lit hallway toward the parking lot, flanked by only 2 security guards. The air was tense and the atmosphere heavy. Then the camera panned and revealed a towering figure leaning against a stack of equipment cases. Brock Lesnar. The beast incarnate stood there in cowboy boots, jeans, and a black flannel shirt. His trademark smirk slowly faded as Roman approached. Fans held their breath. The history between these two men is among the most brutal and storied rivalries in WWE history. 7 pay-per-view main events, multiple title changes, and years of personal insults and physical devastation. But this time, there were no fists, no threats. Just two men, both used and discarded by the same manipulative voice. Paul Heyman. We both got played. The dialogue was brief but unforgettable. Lesnar. You don't look like the tribal chief anymore. Reigns. And you don't look like the next victim. Not today. A long pause followed. The tension was thicker than ever, but something unexpected floated between them. Understanding. Reigns. He played you, then he played me. Now he's playing solo like he's the next chosen one, Lesnar. Grinning. Maybe it's time someone plays him. The crowd watching at home lost their minds. In a matter of seconds, WWE had just teased what could become the most unlikely and terrifying alliance in modern WWE history. Paul Heyman's power grab. Since Roman Reigns' downfall, Paul Heyman has wasted no time rebuilding his empire. He's shifted all his energy into the new iteration of the Bloodline, now led by Solo Sikoa. Backed by newcomers Jacob Fatu, Zilla Fatu, and whispers of other Samoan heavy hitters joining soon, the faction is bigger and meaner than ever. Heyman, ever the opportunist, has taken control of Solo's narrative, presenting him as the true heir to the Anoa'i throne. With Reigns out of the picture, the wise man is attempting to crown a new tribal chief, one he can manipulate from the start. But what he may not have counted on was Roman and Brock burying the hatchet and coming for him. WWE Universe reacts. This changes everything. Social media exploded within minutes of the Backstage segment airing. At WWE Nation, Reigns and Lesnar on the same side? This is the most dangerous alliance WWE has ever teased at Wrestling Observer. This has shades of Austin/Rock in 2001. Roman and Brock coming together could shift the entire balance of power heading into Survivor Series. At Heyman Hustle, Paul Heyman's official account. Be careful who you stand next to. The beast is still a beast. The fallen chief is still fallen. The reactions were mixed, some in awe, others skeptical. But everyone agreed. WWE just opened Pandora's box. Survivor Series or Civil War? Insiders are now reporting that WWE is building toward a massive Bloodline Civil War storyline, possibly culminating at Survivor Series 2025. The main event? Potentially a traditional 5-on-5 match or a high-stakes tag team clash. Teased matchup. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, with Paul Heyman, add the Usos, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, or even John Cena into the mix, and the match card becomes WrestleMania-worthy. The storyline itself isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about legacy, betrayal, power, and redemption. Roman Reigns lost everything. Brock Lesnar was discarded. But now they have a shared enemy, the man who manipulated them both. Final thoughts. The enemy of my enemy. In the cutthroat world of WWE, alliances are often forged not from friendship, but from necessity. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar aren't friends. They'll never be. But right now, they share something more powerful than camaraderie. They share a betrayal. And Paul Heyman, who once molded both of their careers, is now the target of the most unlikely war machine WWE has ever assembled. Whether this turns into a full-on alliance, a short-term partnership, or a slow-burning collision course, one thing is certain.